Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Azfar bin Ahmad Tharmizy. My matric number is 1181772. So I'm going to present my individual research on the subject of research methodology. My topic is the understanding of Zuhud and the implementation in the modern life among students in Faculty Leadership and Management FKP. So this is my outline about what I'm going to present. The first is introduction, and then problem statement, and then research question and objective, and literature review, and the last one is design and method. Okay, the introduction. Tasawwuf or mysticism is one of the Islamic understanding that Muslims are familiar with today. The Islamic source that the researcher still use as the primary source, whether among Muslim writer or non-Muslim, have more or less expanded on their contribution to knowledge. It is the base of this phenomenon that Tasawwuf has become one of the dominant aspects in spreading the ideology of Islam. In this phase, there are two key elements that are the canvasser who carry out the study of mysticism analysis and the person who practice mysticism and become the role model of others who are not in this field. They also had left a series of books as a result of their journey through mysticism. Which book is Al-Duma, Al-Kushairiyah, and Ar-Risalah. In this teaching of the Tasawwuf, a person who wants to achieve Ma'rifat on God should go through a ladder or station, which in the Tasawwuf term is identified as the Maqamat. One of the most talked volumes or station and provoke many pros and cons is Zuhud. This opinion empowerment awakes from the Zuhud practice performed by Sufi figures, judging by some people do not have a strong normative runway in the teaching of Islam. This limitation of the concept of Zuhud is studied on the great nature of the Prophet Muhammad SAW and his companions. The Prophet Muhammad SAW, with his trait, educating his followers to become like his morals, that do not succumb to desire and more conscious of others from themselves. As we can see, the history of Islam has been recorded about the companions who practice of Zuhud by give their properties for the benefit of Islam. Next problem statement. People are only understand and only outdoor the concept of the Zuhud. Zuhud is not a means not to be rich. A variety of advanced knowledge and technological tools already appear in line with the advancements in the world. This advance make human beings weak from the religion sector. Muslim society, especially students, cannot practice a zuhud in our life, and they are most to focus the word only. Society also cannot to practice this concept really. So they must have understanding to perform this concept in themselves. The research question I choose is first, what are the meaning or concept of Zuhud according to the Islam? Next, what are the level of Zuhud? And the last, how to implement the Zuhud to practice on student in modern life in FKP student. The research objective. First, to identify the concept or meaning of Zuhud according to Islam. Second, to study the level of Zuhud that can be practiced according to Islam. And the last, to find the implementation of Zuhud to be practiced on students in modern life to the FKP students. So we are going to the literature review. The first is the concept of Zuhud. I found that Zuhud as an expression of attitude, leaving the world to choose the hereafter and live beside Allah to choose along with Allah. In the scope of morality has the meaning of leading a good attitude on of which emphasize the affairs of others. Zuhud does not prohibit normal life, but only makes one limitation in life, but does not require a form of physical asceticism life. Also to the meaning of Buya Hamka regarding Zuhud is a feeling that does not love the world's pleasure and luxury despite having world popularity. And the last, taking meaning from Islamic encyclopedia as not interested or even does not love the worldly pleasure, but more devote to gain the pleasure of the hereafter. The second is level of zuhud. I found that there were three stages given by the Sufis about the zuhud. Next, third session is the implementation zuhud to modern life. First, the creating social disability and understanding the world wonders of the world is only temporary. All the peculiarities of life that God has to use. The important attitude that a person should have to play into stay on living perfection. And last, that the principle of living tarakat and moderate zuhud was not longer the primary identity of students. Okay, so this is my model and theoretical framework, which is independent variable is the understanding of concept zuhud, and the dependent variable is the implementation of zuhud in modern life on FKP student. Okay, so we are going to the design or method. In this research, I'm use the qualitative and quantitative research method. The types of qualitative metadata that seems suitable thus practice in this research is one-to-one based interviews and record keeping. By using these two methods, I can find answer and material deeply with existing material. Hence, the one-to-one interviews as a primary data with the people who have been understanding in Zuhud and the good lecture with Akhlaq and Tasawuf. After that, combined with a record keeping such a document or book as a secondary data. The quantitative data. The survey research have been chosen to the quantitative data to answer the research question. 1.1 unit of analysis. For this research, the target that can supply the information that researcher will use to answer the quantitative research question might be the student in Faculty Leadership and Management FKP in University Science Islam, Malaysia. Population. This is sample and sampling method. The population. So for this research, the population selected particular need to answer the research question which group of the participant is the student in University Science Islam Malaysia USIM. Meanwhile, the sample that the researchers select which are representative of the entire population consists of the student in Faculty Leadership and Management FKP. Researchers employ either probability or non-probability sampling approach. For this research, the researcher conducting this study using quota sampling. As the research conducting a study, this group get the specific criteria which is gender, age, cost and so on. Next, data collection. The type of survey I choose is the cross-sectional survey. It will have a 10 question and the participant can fill those out on their own times. This question is given based on the research question about the understanding of Zuhud. The instrument design. I write different question that includes person, attitudinal and behavior question. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.